Hey, thanks for coming back to the channel. In this week's video, we're doing a quick follow-up from some folks we met at the NAMM Show back in January, Michael and Barbara of the Cozy Roadie company, and they make these really nice executive office chairs that pack down into flight cases. And they were nice enough to send this one over, and I've been using it here for the last few months and figure I'd do a quick first look. The next step in this process is I'm going to hand this chair off to some folks that will travel with it regularly. I simply don't do enough jobs where I can take a large chair on a daily or weekly basis, but I know some folks who do, and I'm gonna put this in their hands and see what they do to it over the next few months. But for now, a quick first look at how this chair operates, who it's for, and what kind of things you can expect if you buy one. So if you're not sure why you would need an executive office chair that folds down, if you're used to doing more live sound for just straight music and things like that, you might not be familiar with the corporate and broadcast and business end of things and hotel AV side of things that some of us deal with. And it's not at all unusual in those situations to have crew and oftentimes even clients that require office chairs. You know, you're in long days, you're backstage or on a production riser for multiple days at a time over the course of a week or more, and people deserve to have a good place to sit, but the logistics of that can be a real challenge. Trying to pack office chairs, especially ones of any quality, into a truck, it always ends up being an afterthought. You always end up with your chairs getting thrown on the top of the pile. You end up having to rent chairs locally, which can be extremely expensive. And you end up with a lot of broken chairs. You end up with casters shearing off. You end up with a lot of issues that is just unfortunate because, the chair itself doesn't get a ton of wear. Most folks are just sitting in it all day. It's not like it's really getting used hard. It's more the logistics of just transporting them, getting them back and forth, and them existing in trucks with everything else in road cases where, things are expected to be able to get bumped around a little bit and not be destroyed. To that end, Barbara and Michael came up with this really innovative way of folding down this executive office chair. There's a lever back here that's attached with steel cable inside to these release pins that snap in, and when you break that, down it goes. Very simple. And here you'll see the real heart of the system, this cylinder that is custom made for this exact purpose by Cozy Roadie, and that really makes it easy to pop two quick attachment points and have this chair pretty much completely broken down. So currently you do have to take this bottom plate off, and it's really simple. You've got 4 big toggles here, really simple to pop those off and get it separated from the bottom of the chair. And that's simply because to go up to the next size of road case would be a custom size and it would be quite a bit more expensive. So in this current revision, that's the way they went, and I think it works just fine. This chair comes apart very quickly. So one of the ways other people combat this issue and deal with having chairs on a job site is to order new chairs and have them drop shipped from Amazon Prime to the venue directly. And those will be the cheap, like $50, kind of more of a task chair than an executive high back chair like this. And you got to assemble them. So, anybody asking how long this takes to assemble, or if you're upset about those 4 nice, big, large, hand turnable screws, if you order new chairs, you're going to have to assemble those and disassemble those as well, and those are going to be much more fiddly and require much more in the way of tools to do that. So this does take a couple of moments just to pop it out of the case, snap it all together, but I can tell you when I'm setting up for a multi-day or multi-week long session in a ballroom backstage, taking that extra minute or two to put one together that comes in a road case, nobody's complaining about that. This definitely passes the test for convenience in my mind. If this showed up off the back of the truck, you would absolutely put it together even if it required tools, which it doesn't. This is the executive high back chair. When we were at NAMM, they showed us another more task related chair that I think I personally would probably have a little more use for. Just because I freelance and travel around a little lighter. The real design for this chair is companies that have to provide these, whether you're in-house AV or a production company that provides services to executive clients. This is a solution, and they offer bulk pricing for those types of situations. So if you need 10 or 20 or 30 of these to satisfy your client's needs, this is the model that is designed for you. It's really comfortable. Your executive clients, people in suits, are going to love it. This is going to feel better than their office chair back at home. In the case, all packed up and put away in the case, when it shipped to me, the shipping label said 85 pounds. So this is definitely something for folks who are moving their equipment, obviously, in trucks, and you're adding this to your current load list. The whole idea here is when you put this into its case, multiples of those cases stack together and hold on really nicely to one another. So it's a really elegant way to move a number of these in a truck with your other equipment. For somebody like myself, a freelancer, not the most practical thing to show up in an Uber with your executive office chair here. So I'll be handing this off, like I said, to some friends who do that kind of work, who do have trucks that are crisscrossing the country every week. They love driving their trucks around, and I'm going to try to get this into their hands and see what they make of it and let them report back to us with a little bit more about how it wears and how it holds up in real use. It's a great executive high back office chair. It's comfortable, it's easy to move around, it's super easy to take away and you know, put away if I need a little bit more space. Here it goes, it'll roll underneath the desks in the lower position. So it's a great chair if you just need a great office chair that you might take on gigs occasionally. Obviously going to be a little bit more expensive than what you'll see on Amazon, and you can buy this with or without the road case depending on what your needs are. If you're not going to be shipping it, you can just buy the chair, and it's a really handy model to have. Office chairs aren't cheap, so this is not, you know, beyond the realm of a normal chair of this quality. This, you know, fits right in there, and the fact that it's being sold by Michael and Barbara, that you can pick up a phone and call them and get a hold of them and talk to them. You know, they're a small shop and they are passionate about supplying chairs to our industry. So it's not terrifically out of line, and compared to other folding chairs designed for touring and designed for this kind of industry use, this is really quite an affordable option. There's some very expensive options out there, and the quality, of course, is there. Those chairs are very highly regarded, but if you're not looking to spend thousands, this might be the chair for you if you just want to get something that's versatile and made well, and you can pick up a phone and call the folks who made it if you have an issue, and that's huge. They did a really good job putting it together, finding the materials, finding the chair. I don't know if this is a standard model that they've adapted or if it's been built from the ground up. It's definitely more on the Plush executive high back style. I'm gonna miss it when I hand it off to some other folks, but we've got to see how it works in the real world, get it out there on some jobs where it belongs. Cozy Roadie's been posting some really cool shots from gigs where they've had these chairs out with other users, and they've been you know, all over the place doing some really cool jobs. So they're definitely out there in the industry. People are enjoying them. So check them out at CozyRoadie.com, and we'll catch up with Michael and Barbara at Infocom and bring you some more information on what they're doing now and what they've been up to in the last few months since we saw them. Leave any questions you might have down in the comments below for me or for Cozy Roadie. I'll definitely get you an answer if there's anything you're wondering about. Short of pricing, definitely contact them directly on that. But if you've got any questions that the rest of us might benefit from hearing, I'd love to pass them along and get you an answer. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.